Hi, everybody. How are you doing? Hi, Miss Marion. Good to see you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for putting up with me. Thank you for struggling with me. Thank you very much. I apologize publicly for anything that had happened. I apologize. Good morning, everybody. This is Melinda Cooper. I'm living the dream today. I'm struggling a little bit with living the dream, but I'm living the dream. I've lost my ear mic and my earbud. One of those days you wake up and you're like, where is everything? Today's happens to be one of my days. And so I put in another one. I've been informed that it's crackly, it's not working right. So if I sound bad, please forgive me. We're going to try very hard. I'm going to try very hard to make it as clear as possible. Raise a hand if I need to repeat anything. Good morning. We are here talking about taking your passion and turning it into money. That's really what it's all about. Because I'm going to say it, I'm going to say the ugly word, Marion. With COVID, all of us have had to scramble into something a little bit different. Isn't that right?
Right.
It's it's taken us off. It's thrown us into a whirl. It's really, gosh, I can't begin to tell you how many of my clients and how many of my friends have said, "Oh my God, I work from the government, so for me, many of them are being shut down." Many people don't realize that. I always used to say the government will always keep running. You know what? I'm discovering that that's not true. This is the first time ever in my life I can actually say, many of my friends that are still employees are still having difficulties, because they're beginning to close them down. They're beginning to say you can't go into work. The offices aren't in, and now they're all scrambling. What do we do, Marion? Oh my God, what do we do? What do we do? So, what do you
Well,
think?
they don't get paid?
Most of them will not. Most of them will not be paid because they have to wait on government approval of money. So with that, they're sitting out there like everybody else. They won't be reimbursed. Many times they wait for the furloughs and they get reimbursed their time frame. But at this time, there is not any guarantees on that. So, some of them are just being let go. Some are saying, we'll let you know when we come back in. And a lot of the government offices, just like everybody else's, is having to restructure their locations. So they get literally squeezed out, right? So
They get
that's
unemployment, right?
well,
And that
not necessarily because right
no.
now unemployment isn't taking any more new leads right now. We already checked into that. I have some people that work for unemployment, and they're like, we're not taking any more applicants right now. They're all sitting on hold. So,
So it's important then that they start thinking about using their passion and their talents to create an income. No
that's
matter what that is, even if it's temporary, they need to start thinking about it.
that's right. And that's the whole thing. Since this has started, I don't know about anybody else, but since this has all started, from the get-go, a lot of people just started having to think about what am I going to do? How do we make ourselves, somebody coined the words bulletproof, economy proof. How do we make sure that even if this were to flare back up again, because people are predicting that it is, even if it was to flare back up, then the question is what are we going to do if we go back on? Then they bring us off. Then now we're yo-yo, right? So people have to take their passion. Now, Marion, tell the truth. What is one of your greatest passions?
Technology and
Yes, ma'am.
traveling. There's two. I did say two.
Yes.
Traveling, like camping. My dream is to be spending time in nature, mountains, just like Smoky Mountain type of thing. And one of the reasons for that is I realized that my brother took me on a 2-week vacation in his camper van. He had one of those Volkswagen camper vans that popped up, and we spent 2 weeks out in nature with the people that live there and just getting to know the people, going to the places where non-traditional places, that you would go. And I had such a wonderful time that it just stuck with me. And so that is a passion of mine. Now, when you're talking about passion and creating an income, it needs to be something that people are willing to pay for. So you can't have a passion for tying your shoes and expect people to pay you for it. You do have
No,
to think about it.
Right. Well, I always said it, and I still say it. A true entrepreneur is someone who sees a need, and then they fill it. Right. Then they fill it. And one of the biggest things is, and I'm going to say it, Marion. Go ahead, shoot the messenger. Right. Here's the thing. Marion is by far one of the best tech persons. Now, I'm not talking about pick up your phone. How do I fix this? I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about there's a new system, there's a new program. I call Marion, Marion, did you see this new system? And Marion goes in there, and before I know it, she knows it. She does great with it. She figures it out. She's one of those. Are you ready, Marion? She's naturally curious. She's a
There you
natural,
go.
yeah. She's a natural curiosity person, and with that, she goes in there, and by far, I'm going to go ahead and say it, Marion. That's who I think. This is what I think. Marion LaSalle by far is one of the best techie people, that kind of techie person that I ever know of. She will get in there, get to know it, mark it down to forget the foreign, the instructions and all that kind of stuff. Marion says step one, two, three, and she
I
makes it
can't
a lot
read those
easier.
instructions. Can you? Those are
No, please.
no.
I
Mm-mm.
told you when they say it's so easy that a kid can do it. Send me that kid because I still can't do it by their instructions. But Marion knocks it down so easily that then she gets a sheet, and I can follow it step by step, and it works. Okay, so for Marion, her passion, gratefully, that's one of her passions. So she has a class, she has a membership, she has groups that she can do that with, and she's making money. Correct me if I'm wrong.
It's true, and there's a way that you can make money at one time, and people will pay for that program or whatever. But then you have to go and do it again. Some other. So that's great and all, but we're talking about an ongoing income that you can count on every month. Now it may fluctuate and that type of thing, but don't you really want mailbox money every month that
Right.
you can count on, because you have a car payment and you have a house payment and you have food and gas and all the things that you have to pay for? Don't you really want to count on a certain amount of money coming in if you
Right.
get laid off, you know?
Right. You want the
Yeah,
residual income.
yeah.
And if you're fortunate, and many are, I know Mary and I both are, we build it to where it will keep coming. We keep the courses ongoing, we keep them growing, we keep our memberships ongoing. Oftentimes I will tell you, I start it with a class to see if there's any interest. I get a class, and then I turn the class into a membership. I say, okay, here we are. This is what it's going to cost you. And, to keep coming back, to be able to do that, let's keep the team together. Let's keep working together. So I started as one, and then I maneuver it into, or if you're fortunate enough, just maneuver it straight into a membership. And then that way it automatically goes, right? But what if, Marion, your talent is writing? You like to journal, or you like to create, you're an author at heart. What do you think about that?
Okay, so I'm going to give you an example of somebody I absolutely know. I mean, this is somebody who said, I'm a really good writer and I'm a good photographer. So put those two together and you got something. So all you have to do is either join a mastermind where people can help you think of ways, or if you have a partner or a neighbor or somebody, a coach, somebody that you can, because a lot of times you can't think of the ways to make money because it's you and you're in it, right? So you need maybe a second or third party to show you the ways that you can bring money in for that passion. So this person that I'm talking about decided that they wanted to go traveling in a camper van around the country. So they said, okay, how can we get somebody to pay us to do that? So they actually went out and said, okay, we're going to ask for sponsors. Okay, so they had sponsors that would pay for their trip, and they had over $3,000 a month that they could count on, and they signed a contract and everything for a year. So this particular thing is okay. It's at least a year, right? Well, during that year that they were getting this money from two different companies, by the way, one was a shoe company for hiking. It was like sandals. I can't imagine anybody hiking in a sandal, but okay. And the second one was a photography, was a company that wanted their pictures. So they were going to
Very
take, they
nice.
promised them that they would take pictures. Well, by the time they were 6 months in, they had people asking if they could be a sponsor. So they had this money coming in that they didn't even expect. So they had at least enough to get going for a year. And then along the way, they built a membership. So this membership now pays them every month so that they can get insider information about how to make money now on the road. So they turned their passion into a money making machine.
That's right. That's right.
But
And
think about your if you're going to do a one-time payment, that's going to be over.
that's right.
You
That's
need to
right.
think ahead of time.
Well, and I think that really for me, I'm going to go back to it. I hate to keep drudging on this, but it's to fill the need, right? So, people, and I'm going to say this, people who need photography, like your friend, who needs the nature pictures, people who need them for calendars, people who need them for whatever, their magazines or whatever, those people are going to need them all the time. They're not going to need them one time, right? They'll need them all the time. So your person there did a great job because now they need those pictures all the time, right? And when they're out and work, walking or whatever, they need all that. They need all the various things that you have to have to walk and be safe and be comfortable. So those are great deals. For me, when just a little bit differently is that when some people I look at, some people can write. Oh, they can write just tremendously. And sometimes for my digital magazine, I need writers. I need people who can come up with a great article or great content, or I need somebody who can see it from a different point of view. They go out there and they say, hey, I tried this, it didn't work, but this is how I saw it, or this is how I could improve it. And you know what? I need those too, right? Those are people who get paid. There's a lot of way of turning that around. One of the other things, I have a friend, and she is by far, she's just the cutest thing. So what she did was she went around to her friends who have those fashion boutiques, right? The fashion outlets, and she loves clothes. So what she did was she went over when it all started, and she goes, "Hey, I wondered if we could make an arrangement that once a week I would come in and come shopping, right, so that I can use your clothes to do a fashion show." Think about that for a second. I was like, "You're going to go do a fashion show?" And she says, "Yeah." And she says, "And what I'm going to be doing, here comes the same sponsor thing, Marion, here comes your sponsorship. What I'm going to be doing is I've talked to each, there's five of them, the five little boutiques, and each boutique will allow me to go in. It's only one person in the store while she's there, so it's not, she sets up her camera and she takes pictures. Hey, Sherry, she takes her pictures of herself in their clothes, right? And she tells a story. Hey, like this outfit. This is what I like about it. So she tells all about the clothes, right? This is what I see, the colors. What do you think about this on me? What do you think about it on you? Then she talks about the colors of the clothes, what it means, what it represents. So she has turned this fashion boutique, right? All five of these, and she is literally setting them up. They've each of them give her an outfit to try on and to put on. She doesn't walk out of the store with them, right? And now that they're closed, they all run over. She says they each pick a day that they can go over, and she can go over and be in the store just with her and them. So it's only two people in the store, right? Because their stores are closed. But what is she doing? She is still getting. She says I get to try on new clothes every week, and I get to try on this every week. I don't have to do anything else. And I thought it was funny, but she loves it, and she talks about how the different clothes does different things to your energy because she's a healer. Who would have ever thought of that fashion? But she's turned it into, wow, when you're wearing this, this is what you feel like, or this is how does it flare up? What does it say? What does it do? All of those various things. And now, again, Marion, just like you said, those sponsors are paying her. And what's interesting is some of the manufacturers of those outfits, has started to contact her directly and said, we can send you outfits to your home.
Absolutely. It's called an influencer.
Yes.
And yeah, once you become an influencer, people will start throwing things at you. I get stuff in the mail all the time now. Books, people want me to talk about their books and everything. It's like, wow, okay, that's great. I mean, I didn't even expect that. It just started happening.
Well, Marion,
So
you are an influencer. You are a big influence.
yeah, and I happen to know who my audience is because of my podcast. So I can literally see, because Anchor, if you haven't heard of Anchor, you can go to Anchor and it'll tell you exactly who's watching you or listening to you and what their age is and what their devices they're listening to you on. It's amazing. I didn't realize that because YouTube doesn't give you any of that. They won't tell you anything. They'll
Right.
tell you that somebody's subscribed and that's about it. So I know that my audience is 50 plus and they're female. 92% of my audience is female and they're about over 50. That's really great to know because now I know who is interested in what I have to say.
That's right.
So I can maneuver different products and services into that general. I already knew that, but okay, yeah, I figured it out. So what we're talking about today is using your passion or your talents in order to create an income. So we're talking about one-time incomes and long-term, something that you can really focus on and count on every month. So if you don't mind, I'd like to give another example.
Sure, 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 sure.
Okay, so oh look, Sherry says she has an Anchor account. I guess I need to use it. Well, yes, Sherry. Yes, you
Yes,
need to
ma'am.
use it.
Yes,
Yeah.
Sherry. And I'll tell you what, if you ever need any help with that, you need to contact Marion because I'm going to tell you that that stuff is fabulous. And again, Marion is the person who understands all of that and knows exactly what it's telling you. I'm just giving you that plug, Marion, but because I really believe in how wonderful Marion does all that stuff. Go ahead,
Thank
Marion.
you.
Sorry.
I love Anchor. Yeah. Well, that gives me an opportunity to kind of show you what I'm talking about. So I'm old, okay? Let's face it. This is dyed hair and these are wrinkles. But that doesn't mean my life is over. No, I'm at retirement age, but I don't feel like it. I don't want to retire. I want to stay with I'm excitable. I'm happy. Things are happening. So the newest thing on the block, sometimes people will go, oh no, another one. Okay, I'm talking about TikTok. Oh, I can't look at another social media. So if you take that stance, then you're going to get left behind. I'm telling
That's
you,
right.
at least look at it because what people are doing, because especially now that they have time, is they're using their passion and their talents to get and grow an audience. Okay.
Yes.
Now, what you have to think about when your audience is growing is your call to action. So that's when you need someone like Melinda to help you and strategize on how you're going to get this audience now to pay you money, right? I can show you the technology and how to do it and set up your Patreon account and all that stuff and show you how the video, I can do all that, but you need someone like Melinda who's going to help you take your passions and your talents and turn that into a call to action so that you can actually make money. See
Yeah.
how it all works? It's
Yeah.
like a circle.
It's a complete circle. You actually need, gratefully, you actually need Marion and I both, because we both take care of, that's why we collaborate so much. It's a great, and find somebody to collaborate with. What I don't do well, Marion is an excellent, right? So we kind of work with each other in balance. But Marion, since you dropped the needle on TikTok, I'm going to tell you about something new I found, which is driving people to the top ranking of Google's pages.
Oh, let's hear it.
Yes, this one is medium.com. Now, it's not new to everybody. There's a ton
Mm-mm.
of people out there. I want to say that there's over 2 million. Somebody told me 214 million. But the difference is that they're going out there, you're putting your article, you're putting whatever you're doing. But when you start looking at keywords and you're looking for what words should you be using or whatever, Medium is a great place to go and find that out. Then you go over to Patel and find out the keywords that they're using. And when you use the combination, they're driving to the top rank on Google Pages, right? So now you write an article and you want some ranking, you want to start getting known. Maybe TikTok is a place you go talk about it or visit about it or write about it or photo about it or whatever they do. And then you go out there to Medium and put it out there and see where it goes and see. And before you know it, you're moving and people begin to hear about you and they begin to build. You're building your tribe, your audience. It's moving along different ways for you, right? Because once that's the whole thing, Mary. Once we get out there and start showing people what we can and cannot do, unfortunately, one way or the other, right? They will get to say, oh my God, you know, this is what Marion does. And I tell everybody all the time in all my groups when they say, hey, I need somebody, you know what? You need to talk to Marion LaSalle. You need such and such, go talk to so and so. Because, the reality is that we all have our own special talents. We have something within us that says, this is just for you.
I have another example if you're ready.
I'm ready.
This one really hits my heart, okay? It hits my heart really hard because as I get older, I want to be a healthier person. I want to slim down. I want to have the knowledge and the accountability to but I haven't found anybody yet that just really got me, you know what I mean? That could really help me because I'm a self-sabotager. If I'm sad or mad or whatever, ice cream and yeah, all that stuff. So I was looking, but didn't know where to look. So one of my mastermind members says to me, Marion, I'd really like to start cooking on video and put it up somewhere. Where should I put it? And I said, well, YouTube and Facebook Live is a great place to start. So don't you know, she's doing healthy cooking. And
Wow.
she's loving it. Now, she's not making any money with that, but she's getting comfortable with it. She's getting comfortable with it. She's showing her food. It's really wonderful, right? So when she wanted to start making money, she developed a 6-week course on how to cleanse and all that stuff. But my mind went to, yeah, but as soon as that's over, then
That's
what?
right. That's right.
So even though I wanted to do the cleanse, I thought, no, that's still not for me because when it's over, I'll just eat more because I starved myself or something. Yeah, my mind went there.
Right.
So I said, what if you were to create a Patreon page and offer a membership, a mastermind membership where they pay every month? And she said, oh, I hadn't thought of that. And I thought, exactly. So I helped her create this Patreon page where she has three different levels. One is a, hey, thank you for joining and helping supporting me, which she already has, believe it or not. The second one is, hey, you just want some emails and maybe a Zoom call once a month or something like that. And the third one is a mastermind. She had 6 people sign up in the first week.
Wow. That's
Now,
fabulous.
these are ongoing people that aren't going to stop in 6 weeks. You
No,
see? So
going.
she's going to make a lot more money. So what is your talent? Think about all the things that we've talked about here today. All you have to think about is what is your talent? What is your passion? And maybe it will work and maybe it won't, but that's where you need to ask Melinda, is this something that people would pay for? Because let's face it, there are certain passions out there. People are not going to pay you for it.
You're absolutely right. And I will tell you something that this is one of my, I'm always shocked. I am not able, I'm not able to draw. If I can do a stick,
Me either.
if I can do a stick person, and she puts a smile, right? Even when I did use child and do the hangman or whatever, spell the words correctly, right? Even they look cockeyed. My sticks would be wrong or whatever, right? And I was like,
Yeah.
whatever, let's do it, play the game. So I ended up making it not a hangman. I just made it a person, right? You made a person, right? So, but I will tell you, I have a young man, and for any of those who follow me on Facebook, when I put up praying hands, you see the hands that go like this, a praying. He actually drew me some hands, praying hands. Okay. And I use that as my picture. Okay. As my graphic. Okay, I use that as my, saying my prayers and here's my prayers for you, right? And I want you to know that this young man is naturally talented. That's his natural that's his natural talent, okay? And one of the things I always tell him is, Lord has blessed you with such great abilities. You could turn that into a logo design, a graphic design, learn how to do it on the computer. You could be all kinds of stuff. I mean, you name it, right? He could just do tremendous things with that, right? And he's like, nobody would pay for this. I'm like, I paid for it. I didn't have a problem in saying, hey, I'll pay you for that, right? And some people just don't know that just because it's not what you think is good enough or what you think anybody will pay for, you know what? You might be surprised. You might be shocked.
Yes, you might
What?
be shocked.
That's right.
Not might be, you will be shocked at the people that are making money with their talents. Either they're showing people, like there's a guy on Patreon, or a gal, I don't know, somebody on Patreon, they never show their face, where
Right.
they're making little miniatures. They make miniature things. I guess people
Oh,
buy
okay.
miniatures for, I don't know, aquariums or whatever. And they have a camera up at the top that's hanging from something, and then they have a camera from each side. And so you'll see them switching, depending on what they're making. And they are making thousands and thousands of dollars every month just by people watching them. They want them to keep showing them these videos, so they're willing. Now that's a talent. That's a
Okay.
talent, making miniatures.
Well, now, it is a talent. I'm going to tell you it's a talent. I'm going to tell you one, and then we're going to laugh. That's right. It's a talent. I'm going to tell you one, and everybody's going to laugh with me. Here's the deal. My husband, who is retired as well, he loves, ever since very young, he does trains. We do model trains. Marion has seen them. They're actually in my formal dining room is a train room. It's not a formal dining room.
That's right.
But he also does those remote control boats, right? So he goes out to the lake and he'll do his boats and things like this. So he also goes to boat races and things like this. So what he loves to do is take a picture of the boats. So he videotapes them. So he has, unbeknownst to me, about a year ago, he started putting all of those videos that he has on YouTube. Got himself a YouTube channel, and every time he sends out an email, it says, hey, if you're interested, check out my YouTube channel. And I thought, really? You're sending it out to the family. The difference is that as he started writing to other people, they started sending the YouTube channel out to other people. And some people started putting the boats that he had videotaped at a boat race or whatever, started recognizing their boats. And so they started taking his videos and putting them on their page. Hey, did you see my boat? Look at my run, blah, blah, blah. And we started chuckling. I was like, do you know that person? And he's like, no, but they took my channel. They took my YouTube. I said, they didn't take it. You still have it. They just borrowed it, blah, blah, blah. Then all of a sudden, he started getting emails. Hey, you want to come in? We'll pay you to videotape our boat, our race. We'll pay you because we do car races. Well, we used to without COVID. He and I would love to go. I used to love to go and take the shots of the cars getting up on their two, doing a pop and a wheelie, right? For those who, like this, right down the road, right? Let me see if I can do that right. There we go. With the wheels up and the smoke rolling and all that. I love those shots. I have tons of them. And so we started putting the picture of the car and then his video so that they would know whose car it was that he was videoing. And now people have come and started asking us to do their videos for their car races and for their hot shots and their old fashions and their models. And I kind of chuckled because that was not anything that he or I had ever expected to receive. We were taking our hobby, old cars,
It's
fast
called
cars.
reinventing the wheel, people. Okay. I know we've run out of time. And so I want to make one last comment about, think about what your passions and your talents are. And if you can't come up with something right away that can make you money right away, then you need to contact Melinda. and just ask her advice on what direction you should go. Now, you can join her membership. That's great. I'm in there. It's amazing. She gives lots of value for that. But I'm sure that she would do a 15-minute call with you just to
Yes.
see if you have an idea and she can turn it into money for you. Don't do this alone. I
No.
know you need money right now. Now is the time. I don't
Create.
want you to be stressed, okay? You can create an income. I mean it. I know you can. I've seen it happen.
Yes. Create, because it's already inside you what you have and what you need. Marion, again, thank you so much for everything you do for me and for living the dream. Everybody else, thank you so much for being here, and we will see you next Tuesday.
Bye for now.
Bye bye.